So the first remembrance, I want to bring us back. The first remembrance is like all of nature, we humans are of the nature to grow old, to change, and to wear out. We have not gone beyond this. May we learn to appreciate the vitality and resilience of our current age. I remember being a kid, and I was always wishing to be older. 10, 16, 20, 30. 30 seemed somehow magical, as if my whole world was going to pop open and I'd become the woman I always wanted to be. How strange it is that when we're young, we wish to be older. And now that we're older, we wish to be young. I mean, when do we ever land in the present moment and appreciate where we are right now, whatever our age is? When? Each age truly offers something unique, some kind of wisdom. But we live in a modern culture that tends to idealize and indulge the vanity of youth. We cling to youth for dear life, use lotions and potions that profess to keep the signs of aging at bay, and would have us believe that if we use the right combination, we won't age or die. Fret not, you're in good company. Remember, too, that the Buddha, when he was a prince, he got caught up in this fantasy, thanks to the efforts of his father, who was concealing the truth of aging, sickness, and death from his son. But when Prince Siddhartha secretly ventured out of the palace, his second aha moment was seeing an old man with sagging skin, hunched over, effortfully walking with a cane. And he asked his charioteer, Channa, what he was seeing, and if that would happen to him. Channa replied, this happens to everyone. And that shook him deeply. Like, holy smokes, he too was going to one day look like that. Now, mind you, the old person Siddhartha saw was not suffering from some rare disease. He was simply old. But this sighting shook him. He was seeing his own mortality for the first time. This was his first taste of anicca, impermanence. Suddenly it was real to him, so real that it stirred in him a quality known as samvega, which means spiritual urgency. Now, samvega isn't panic, nor nihilism. Siddhartha didn't get depressed or despair. It prompted him, though, to leave the comforts of the palace, to not waste time, and to understand and figure out how to be in harmony with this truth. This is how it is. This kind of urgency invites us to not waste time worrying or haranguing ourselves about the past, about what we aren't, about what this body isn't. Rather, it lands us in a deep appreciation for what is here, while it is here, for as long as it is here. Samvega doesn't pine after the past or wish for something different. It urges us to not turn away from aging, but to listen and be responsive to its call. For many of us, urgency often arises when reality is stripped of its window dressing and we find ourselves standing naked in front of the mirror wondering what the heck happened to this body. Often this is a shock of mortality, of the march of time. And it often appears in middle age because up until then, we could fool ourselves. Up until then, We couldn't see the subtle changes that were taking place below the surface because it was so slowly, imperceptibly invisible to us until one day, magically, it appears. In other words, aging doesn't happen all at once. We aren't suddenly old. Old slowly comes into view. Old creeps up on us, is working behind the scenes in our everyday life. So it's hard to keep track of. Aging is tricky for its gradualness and continuousness. Yet this is our task as practitioners of mindfulness and, frankly, as mortal creatures. We humans can begin to make peace with this truth by not denying the reality. So I'd like all of you to pause here for a moment, and I'd like to invite you to check in. So if you will, just sort of settle back for a moment and just answer these questions for yourself. How did you feel this morning when you woke up overall? Did you feel achy inside? Did you feel apprehensive? Were you groggy? Was there a feeling of dread or excitement? What did it feel like in there this morning? Do you remember? Did you note it enough to actually be responsive? Or did you just blow by that thought or that feeling and just get up and do your usual? Perhaps we might begin to pause and consider. All right, now I'd like you to consider right now. What does it feel like right now at this hour of the day, in this moment? Just drop in and see what it feels like. Is the body comfortable? Is it working hard in some way to stay awake, to stay upright, to be comfortable? Does it feel healthy? Does it feel full of energy? Does it feel tired or at ease? How's the mind? Has it been dwelling on things in between even hearing me speak? Does it kind of want to keep pulling you out into planning or into worrying or something? Just notice. Now here's the big question. The one, if anything else, I want you to do your best to try to remember and figure out for yourself. What does it need to feel a bit more comfortable in its skin right now? Give it that, even as you're sitting here. This is the question that we can repeat and ask ourselves many times a day. This question honors the truth of how it really is and can support our well-being if we listen to how it feels and are responsive. This line of questioning respects and can help us wisely respond to these aging bodies. It's gradual and continuous. It's going to change all the time. We can't stop the march of time, but we can learn to drop in and be a little bit more attuned, a little more sensitive to its complex needs. This is our job. This is the home we inhabit. And this job we are uniquely suited for because we're the only ones in here. We're the only ones. The Buddha didn't want us to glorify or ignore the body as it ages. He wanted us to learn how to respond wisely and kindly to it. In fact, he spoke of being human as being precious and rare, special, and that we as a species have these unique abilities to sense the heavens and the hells. We know this. To discern skillful from unskillful, harm from non-harm, and that these learnings actually begin and end in this fathom-long body of ours. This is the only instrument he used to wake up. without panic, but with the sobriety of this reality that we are getting older, despite, however, broken down, overused, and unappreciated these bodies have been treated, we can begin to invite this question. What does it need to feel a bit more comfortable in its skin? And keep asking that question. No ageism here. No hankering for the youth or for some other body, and nothing fancy. No big push for anything, no grasping for how things were or should be. Simply ask the question right now, how does it feel inside? And what does it need to feel a little more comfortable? What does it need to feel a little better in its skin? Let the raw data speak for itself. This keeps it real and it keeps it immediate. Then practice offering that very thing to yourself, whatever this body needs. Give it the cup of tea, the extra pillow under the bum knee or the aching hip. Take the heart medicine that's keeping you alive. That's good medicine. These things, these small moves, these are acts of love. And this, my friends, is why we are all here today. Love. We're learning to love better as we age and change. Learning to appreciate and care for what is here until it isn't. Until it isn't. It's our job. Let the changing needs of your body challenge the heart mind to be creative in how it responds. Don't ignore or deny, just listen. Listen to the body's needs. It's your vehicle. And it has and continues to work really hard to stay as healthy as it can, given what we put in it and what we do to it. Love it. Learn to love it better as it ages and changes. They need you. And appreciate and care for what is here. They've gotten you here so far. Surely they deserve more than a passing glance. Surely they deserve more than being spoken to unkindly or harshly. Surely we can learn to meet them where they are and practice loving their perfect imperfections. Why not? Who else if not you? We can do this. It's for our welfare and for the welfare of all the people and all of the beings that we encounter, to recognize how fleeting and fragile and utterly beautiful this world is that we get to experience because of these bodies. So let's practice caring for the aging bodies that they are. All right? Thank you for your kind attention. All right, my dears. All right. Let's turn those kind eyes to your body and take some breaths, open them up, move the body around as it needs to move to open up some of the stiffness, create some space, freshen it up in there. This right here is a kindness, not just plopping down on the cushion to meditate, having just sat or done your morning or whatever time of day it is for you. It's about letting go of what you were just doing, even letting go of all of the words and coming into the body and creating some space in there, giving it the attention it deserves. So let's go a little further here and take your fingertips, if you will, and gently bring them on up to the chin and to the jaw, and tap that jaw, tap the cheeks, open up the mouth, Move the jaw around. Let go of some of the tension. And gently put the hands down. And if it feels comfortable, close the eyes. Let go of the outside world. The show is inside. Take some nice big inhalations, nice big exhalations. Let's open up the breath body. On the inhalation, we open up the whole of the interior. On the exhalation, we soften and settle all the way down, around and through the whole of this body, and let it settle down onto the ground, onto the cushion, onto the chair, the sofa, wherever you are. Now keep the attention at the base of the body. And just notice over these next few cycles of breathing how the body naturally yields to gravity and settles down all on its own. Now gently shift the attention to the torso and just notice how, with each inhalation, the whole torso expands, opens up. It naturally wants to receive the breath of life. And it'll do this for as long as it can. So right here, just appreciate that. The marvel of this body that just wants to keep itself alive. Now for this next little while, the invitation is for you to keep noticing when the body gets tense, stressed out in mind and body, and seeing if you can support it to unwind and let go of that tension. Keep playing with that. Letting go of stress and feeling back into comfort and ease. How do you do that? And in the last 5 minutes, can you relax the grip of attention, settle back, and let yourself be? Simply be and breathe. Notice the body is already being held by whatever it is sitting on. You don't have to work for that. And maybe just breathe and sense the space you're sitting in, how it is also holding you. And finally sense into all of us sitting here with you and you sitting here with us. Each of us making room for ourselves and each other to be just as we are. Ageless in our being. stop the recording.